Now, this whole Rupert Lowe reform mess, it's just getting worse by the minute. And it's hard for voters like me because the reality is the only party that can stop the vicious circle of the Tories and Labour swapping power and ending Keir Starmer's hopes for a second term are treating a well-loved and well-respected MP in Rupert Lowe like he's literally shit on their shoe. So as you all know, he was effectively kicked out of the party for seemingly challenging Nigel Farage's position as leader and raising his voice to party chairman Zia Yousaf. And he's tried his best to offer an olive branch and to build a bridge with all of them, but they're just ignoring him. They want nothing to do with him. I think we have to accept, folks, that Rupert Lowe and reform will never ever happen again. So they're dragging Rupert Lowe's good name and his reputation through the mud, and they're being quite vicious about it. They're trying to destroy the guy. And he's not the only person they've done it to either, because they've done it to Ben Habib as well. And so according to Rupert Lowe, the latest is he has been informed by what he says is a reliable source that senior reform figures have been briefing journalists that he has dementia. Now that's pretty disgusting and pretty desperate as well. I mean, I expected better from reform, I really did. I know that politics is brutal sometimes and it can be Machiavellian, but this is quite disgraceful. But now there are some revelations coming out about party chairman Zia Yousaf and people online saying he was a left-wing Muslim student during his youth. Now Rupert Lowe, he did cooperate with the King's Council that reform used to investigate him. And all he's asked for is credible evidence to support their claims, but none have been forthcoming. But to be honest with you, the more I learn about this whole spat, the more I think it's the reform hierarchy that have serious questions to answer, because it's quite clear they've orchestrated a smear campaign, used membership money to investigate the fella, and even calling the police. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and having read everything online, I think Rupert has debunked everything which reform have thrown at him. Even Richard Tice, during a GB News interview, when asked about Rupert Lowe, said that he wouldn't even be welcomed back to the party, even if his innocence is proven. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me it has nothing to do with their allegations, and everything to do with trying to destroy an MP who they thought was trying to take over the party leadership. How petty. This really doesn't look good for reform at all, and this is getting worse by the minute. And when statements come out from reform saying that Rupert Lowe has been influenced by the so-called radical right, and that they weren't happy with Rupert Lowe's suggestions for him constantly asking for mass deportations of illegal migrants, just makes me really uncomfortable being a reform voter and member. And I'm afraid if I do vote for reform at the next general election, that we're going to get more or less of the same as when Starmer was in power. Who knows? But it's not looking good, is it, folks? Like I said, it's a hard one. This is the only party that can stop Starmer having another disastrous 5 years as Prime Minister, and yet they're behaving like this. What a horrible situation, folks. Anyway, there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments as ever. I'm Paz49, thanks for watching, and until the next time, Roger Trout.